At the end of every single NFL season, there's one team that is crowned Super Bowl champions. But before the season even begins, there's a team that's the favorite to win the Super Bowl. And since the year 2010, there's only been 3 teams that were the favorites at the beginning of the season and hoisted the Lombardi trophy at the end of the season. So what happened to the teams that were supposed to win the Super Bowl but ended up not doing so? Well, it's safe to say a lot happens in those 20 weeks, including injuries, drama, and a whole lot more. So without further ado, what happened to every preseason Super Bowl favorite since the year 2010? In 2010, it was the Colts at plus 800 odds. The Colts were coming off a Super Bowl loss, and the team was hungrier than ever. After finishing 10-6 and winning the AFC South, they found themselves in a wild card matchup against the Jets. However, after 2 LaDainian Tomlinson touchdowns and Nick Folk knocking in the game-winning field goal, the Colts season was over. This actually ended up being Peyton Manning's last game as a Colt. In 2011, it was the Patriots at 5-1 odds. The Tom Brady-led Patriots ended the regular season 13-3, winning the AFC East. This team featured 8 total Pro Bowlers, and after beating the Broncos and Ravens in the playoffs, they advanced to the Super Bowl. However, they would lose to the Giants in the Super Bowl for the second time in 4 seasons. In 2012, it was the Packers at plus 600 odds. The Packers would finish the regular season 11-5, good enough for an NFC North title. They would ease past the Vikings in the wild card round, but a trip to San Francisco for the divisional round would be completely different. Colin Kaepernick erupted, and the 49ers would end the Packers season. In 2013, it was the Broncos at plus 600. Peyton Manning found himself on a preseason Super Bowl favorite once again. Peyton led the Broncos to a 13-3 record, while statistically having the best offense in the history of the NFL. They averaged 37.9 points in the regular season, and this offense was still humming in the playoffs. They advanced to the Super Bowl, but unfortunately for Denver, they got smoked by the Seahawks. In 2014, it was that Seahawks team at plus 450. They were coming off a Super Bowl win, and the expectations in Seattle were through the roof. After achieving a 12-4 record in the regular season and making the Super Bowl once again, they were very close to going back-to-back. But the Seahawks decided not to run the damn ball, and they lost to the Patriots in heartbreaking fashion. In 2015, it was the Seahawks once again at plus 450 odds. The Seahawks were destined to make up for that Super Bowl loss. They finished 10-6, good for second in the NFC West. And after winning in the wild card round off a Blair Walsh miss, they would lose to Carolina in the divisional round. In 2016, it was the Patriots at plus 600. New England was a powerhouse once again. Going 14-2 in the regular season, they won their division for the 8th year in a row. They would advance to the Super Bowl against the Falcons, and I think we all know how this one ended. The greatest comeback in the history of sports. In 2017, it was the Patriots once again at plus 275. After a Super Bowl win the year before, the Patriots were red hot as they finished with a 13-3 regular season record. They advanced to the big game once again, but after a Nick Foles catch and a Tom Brady drop, they lost to the underdog Eagles. In 2018, it was the Patriots for the 3rd year in a row at plus 600. New England was destined to make up for their Super Bowl loss. They finished the regular season 11-5 on their way to another AFC East title, and they redeemed themselves from the season before as they beat the Rams in the most boring Super Bowl of all time. In 2019, it was the Patriots for the 4th year in a row. The Patriots finished the season 12-4, but a late season loss to the Dolphins would actually cost them the number 1 seed. They met a former New England Patriot in the playoffs, Mike Vrabel. The Tennessee Titans would beat the Patriots in the wild card, ending the Brady era. In 2020, it was the Chiefs coming off a Super Bowl win at plus 450. The Chiefs were ready to start the dynasty, and after going 14-2 in the regular season, they found themselves in the Super Bowl once again. However, this Buccaneers pass rush would overwhelm the Chiefs offensive line as the Chiefs were held without a touchdown in the Super Bowl. In 2021, it was the Chiefs again at plus 450 odds. Despite the Super Bowl loss from a season ago, the Chiefs were once again favored and they finished this regular season 12-5. They hosted the Bengals in the AFC Championship, and after jumping out to a big lead, Cool Joe and the Bengals came storming back to advance to the Super Bowl, ending the Chiefs season. In 2022, it was the Bills at plus 600. Buffalo was ready to win a Super Bowl, and a 13-3 regular season only proved that this team had a legit shot to win it all. But Cool Joe would play spoiler once again as the Bengals came into Buffalo and beat the Bills handedly. Just this past season in 2023, it was the Chiefs at plus 600. The Chiefs started the 2023 season out slow. They were struggling on offense, and this led to some brutal losses. But this defense was consistently one of the best in the league. After finishing the season 11-6, they had a very tough playoff schedule ahead. However, wins against the Dolphins, in Buffalo, and in Baltimore cemented this team as a dynasty as they won back-to-back Super Bowls. And the preseason favorite heading into this 2024 season is the Chiefs at plus 550 odds. The Chiefs begin the season as the preseason Super Bowl favorites as they look to become the only team in NFL history to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. And if you like this video, you should check out the one we just did where we took a look back at every single #1 rated high school football recruit since the year 2000.